People who work in nursing homes. What is some of the wildest shit you've heard come out of an elderly person's mouth? Once listened to an elderly woman reminisce about being rescued from the remains of her family home during the Blitz. Both her legs were degloved from the knees down. And that's why I need this wheelchair. It's not 'cause I'm old. Had a schizophrenic resident tell me she couldn't go into the dining room because there was a horse on fire in there. When I said, "Oh no, it's safe, I put out the fire," she told me I did a piss-poor job because that horse is still a-blazing. Once heard someone claim they dated Albert Einstein back in the day. I work with old people sometimes, but not in a nursing home. An old lady with dementia once told me that she couldn't look into my eyes because they reminded her of buttholes because they're brown. Not my story, but I remember a woman on Reddit once shared how they volunteered at a nursing home for a while and that a sweet old woman who is normally pretty calm and quiet out of nowhere explained to her that back when she was young and divorce wasn't an option, wives would often poison their husband's coffee. I remember Opie said the old lady dropped this random tidbit and then just rolled out of the room in her wheelchair, like it was the most casual thing. I was a receptionist at a nursing home for some time. There was a Cuban old lady that had the biggest crush on one of the maintenance guys. He was under my desk fixing the keyboard drawer that fell, but I was still behind the desk taking calls. The lady walked up looking confused, looks under the desk, and when she saw it was him, she lost her marbles. She was yelling at me in Spanish and trying to hit me, basically claiming I was a whore trying to steal her man. Fun times. My girlfriend used to work at one. She had one resident, a quite old, unsuspecting man that loved to say the same thing to all the female workers, "Let me eat yo pussy." A surprising number of dementia patients think they either see animals in their room or small children. I have video of my mother-in-law in the last few months of her life having a full conversation with two imaginary children she claimed just stopped by to visit. Very creepy. I've nursed some very sweet little old ladies who then surprised me by saying some incredibly racist things. Former social worker in a nursing home. The astounding number of felonies which people confess when they think they are about to step on a rainbow, pass away, is unreal. If even half were true, it is still an unbelievable number. She wasn't senile or otherwise mentally compromised. Upon asking, she told me all about being a young girl in the Hitler Youth. She wasn't ESP proud or ashamed. She said it was the thing to do at the time. The wildest shit wasn't what I heard come out of patients, but what I heard families saying. The amount of people who will talk about wishing their relative was dead so they can get their inheritance right in front of the relative is crazy. I'm not employed in the elder care industry, but as a member of a community band, we'd often play assisted living facilities. One time, as I navigated through the crowd of blue hairs, a resident, who was maybe 4 feet 10 inches and 80 pounds soaking wet, looked at my 6 foot 340 pounds frame and said, "There's no missing you in crowd." I love sassy old women. No filter. Never worked in a nursing home, but spent a very long time in a hospital while my great-grandfather was receiving treatment for leukemia. He was not doing well, and I'm assuming had a war flashback and was pressing the remote for the bed to move it up and down, raised to flat and back again, trying to find the right controls. He served in WW2 and was a pilot, I believe. We think he was remembering being in the cockpit. Odd, and was wild to see, but also really fucking sad. Not in a nursing home, but when my grandmother had dementia and my grandfather was taking care of her, she wouldn't go to the bathroom because she claimed there was a homeless man in there. My grandfather had to pretend to tell the homeless man to leave. My dad was 78 and had hospital delirium for a while before he passed. He said and did some crazy stuff, including calling the police claiming he was being held hostage. He also told me that he had slept with his much younger nurse in his nursing home bed. There is a woman who on more than one occasion accused me of murdering JFK. I was born in the 80s. Free and unrestrained use of racial epithets. I hear lots of people confess to murders and stuff like that. I had a resident relay the story of how she stabbed her husband in the ass with a pitchfork when she caught him in the barn with a calf. Flushed face. Didn't work in one, but when my grandpop was in the nursing home, there was a lady who sat in the hallway yelling, "Hail Mary, full of grace, get me out of this goddamn place," over and over. She'd also kick anyone that was foolish enough to get in range. We had a foot of snow overnight and big drifts in the yard. World War II era guy. Damn, that snow is ass high to an Indian. I ask, what does that mean? Well, the Indian is taller than you. That we're actually living on another planet. Just how confidently they assume you'll engage in some casual racism or sexism with them just because you're a white man. Old people don't care and have no filter anymore. And it's lovely.